It looks like we have some people. So, yeah. I'm just going to noodle for a minute while some people show. What I would say is if you guys want to help the channel out, please do go and share this stream because we're going to transcribe some really cool stuff today. It won't be the shit that I'm playing here. We're going to transcribe some cool stuff from the mighty Bruce Forman. Those that are unfamiliar, you're going to have a great time learning some of this stuff. So yeah, please do go and share the stream. And of course, if you have any questions about this or anything else, I can see I'm just getting a message, a private message. Yeah, forgot to do that, Luke. Sorry, I'll post it in the comments. Yeah. What am I doing there? Gatton does rule. I've not even thrown the Gatton tally out yet. Okay. Are we? Yeah. We're at the mark. Okay. Let's do some work. Boosh. There you go. There's the Gatton tally. Sorry for my unfiltered ramblings, ladies and gentlemen. I always like to just do a little bit of playing at the start of a stream. And usually in a perfect world, the playing will be a little bit better than that, but that's the nature of improvisation. Sometimes you're going to play like dog shit, but that's okay. That's totally fine. That's the fun. That's the fun of it. We are here to promote something and learn about some stuff. So I'm just going to post a link in the description right there. We're here to talk about Bruce Forman and, ta-da! Bruce Forman's new book, Solo Jazz Guitar Etudes. I didn't do the transcriptions in this. Let's zoom in a bit. I didn't do the transcriptions in this. One of my old students did. So I was going to say I can't vouch for their accuracy, but if they're inaccurate, then I was a shitty teacher, right? There is so much to dig your teeth into in this book. It's a treat to be able to find things like this. In this day and age, you know, the ease of access we have to education is incredible. I remember being young, and the closest I had to something like this, solo jazz guitar etudes, was I remember Joe Pars's chord melody book. And all notation, of course. No CD came with it. Well, you want this? This comes with video and tab. So yeah, this is 16 of Bruce's little etudes, video form etudes, playing over traditional jazz standards, all with analysis. It's wonderful. It's just so nice to be able to access things like these. So yeah, this is to talk about that book. We're going to do some transcriptions of Bruce's playing, but it's not going to be the playing that's in this book. So it's like, think of it as nice additional little bonus content. Yeah, so this is about choruses, Bruce's choruses of the day. Let me just read through the comments. So of course, the other thing I will add is Bruce, the man himself, is here in the comments section. So if you want to ask Bruce any questions, he is here to take those questions. Yeah, I was going to have Bruce on, but like on the channel, so we could talk to him, and maybe we'll do an interview in the future. But what am I going to say while I'm sitting and transcribing Bruce's playing to Bruce? I'm going to transcribe a thing and then go, so, was that right? I don't want to take up Bruce's time like that. This way Bruce can sit and watch this stream in his underwear, because I hope everybody watching this right now is currently doing so in your underwear. You deserve it. You deserve it. Get yourself a nice glass of wine and sit in your underwear. So, Florida Man, hey gang, Stephen, made it to the live stream. Yeah, Bruce Forman, just wrapped up daily practice routine, or weekly practice routine, just in time to learn Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, learn what Cowboy Bebop is. Well, you're going to have an absolute blast with this one. Bebop with a Bebop cowboy, yeah. Cowboy Bebop is the coolest musical term. For me, that's what really just... I have a lot of similar tastes to Bruce in that respect. Like, I never considered myself a jazz player. I still don't, obviously. I'm not a jazz player. I say that as like a catchphrase of mine. But at the same time, I'm also not a country player. But I have my feet very firmly planted in both of those areas. I like a lot of country music, but I always think like a jazz player. And to me, the Cowboy Bebop thing is when you listen to Western swing music, you're getting that magical sound of what happens when jazz musicians play redneck music. Is one way of putting it, right? Of course, you see my Danny Gatton telly here. Danny, of course, put out a record called Redneck Jazz, and it's got all of that jazz sensibility, but applied in more improvisational blues and jazz based settings. And yeah, Bruce in particular definitely leans more into that jazz thing. He's really got it, because of course he has. Yeah, and he just brings that across to his playing. So I'm going to bring up some transcriptions. And you'll have to bear with me on this, guys, because I'm working... This is a completely new setup, if you hadn't noticed. You're not used to seeing this camera angle. I've completely reorganized everything in my studio. I can tell you, moving a Hammond C3 on your own from one side of a studio to the other is not fun. But we've done it. So I've got a completely different layout. So we have different camera angles now. And I'm also using a Mac for the first time. This is my first stream using the Mac. And there are things that I hate about it, and there are things that I love about it. And immediately, you're going to see when we look at this, you can see my desktop. And obviously, I can't drag this lower than that. That's as low as that will go. So you can see a little bit of my desktop. I guess thinking about it, I could do this. But then you end up seeing, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, there doesn't seem to be an ideal situation. So maybe we'll work that out. Anyway. So I've got 3 of Bruce's videos from his Instagram page. Now, Bruce's Instagram page is fantastic. Do go and follow him. Bruce, post a link to your Instagram page in the comments so people can find you over there. Yeah, I've got three videos that we're going to look at. And I'm going to walk you through my process of transcribing them. We'll talk about some of the stuff that's going on. And yeah, these are older videos, older Bruce choruses of the day. Let's take a listen to what we've got going. And the beauty of, I think, this style of learning, this style of playing is it's not impossible to transcribe. In fact, I would go as far as saying it's not actually all that difficult to transcribe compared to, if people come to me and they're like, oh, I want you to transcribe this Alan Holdsworth solo. I could probably bring my face up for this. I want you to transcribe this Alan Holdsworth solo, or I want you to transcribe this thrash metal guitar solo, and you listen to these recordings and you just can't hear what's going on because there's just walls of sound coming at you. Whereas in this style, in these videos in particular, Bruce is playing unaccompanied, so it's just guitar, so it's very clear and easy to hear what's going on. And the rhythmic palette with which he's playing is rock solid, but also not all that complicated. It's classic bop rhythms. It's eighth note vocabulary. There's some triplet vocabulary in there. You're going to find some little chord voicings, and if you're unfamiliar with chord voicings, again, what better way is there to sit and work out chord voicings than listening and seeing? That's really helpful, being able to see someone play these chord voicings. So yeah, if I jump on over here, I'm going to mark these files out in Transcribe, and of course that means I'm just pressing the M key along with the video while it's playing to put in where the bars are. And I've picked 3 examples here where the groove is very apparent. There's a very solid kind of mid to up tempo feel to these. So let's have a listen. Okay, so there's one. Oh, this is my Joe Pass video that I transcribed the other day. I'm going to go through each of these so you can hear each one of them, and then I'll pick which one I want to start on. So here's another of Bruce. What a happy man. So we've got... Cool. There's our second one, and then our third one. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Yeah, our third one, and we'll talk about Bruce. We almost certainly start with this, right? Hang on. Why am I getting the feeling that that's the same as what I've already played? Because I remember that phrase. My organisation skills are terrible. Forgive me. Yep, cool. Got that one twice. Because I'm an idiot. Ignore me. Right, let's get to work on it. Oh, no. So, Bruce Forman. So here's Bruce Forman. Well, Bruce, if you look online, you're going to find loads of examples of Bruce's playing. For me, I became really, really familiar with Bruce's stuff when I started listening to the podcast with Scott Henderson, Guitar Wank, and I just remember loads of really solid nuggets of information from Bruce in there, and in particular something which I hadn't kind of vocalized, I hadn't put out there into the ether with students, but it was in my mind as something that I just sort of did subconsciously. And Bruce, there was a point on there where he talked about one of his students coming in and they wanted to learn, if memory serves me right, as a Coltrane solo, long time ago, so you forgive me if I'm wrong about that. And he talked about how the student was almost put off when Bruce said, well, first of all, you need to be able to sing it. If you can't sing it, you're not ready to play it. And there's so much value in that. When you play, your instrument in an improvisational context, when you're playing melodies, what you really want to be doing is you want to be hearing an idea and then playing that idea. We want to move away from sorry about that, Bruce, I got that wrong. You want to move away from putting our fingers down on the fretboard, playing notes, and then having our ears be surprised by the things that we play. We want to hear things and then play those things. When it comes to learning a transcription of something, if you internalize the sound of it, if you can hear it, then what you find is when you play the thing, what you're doing is you are drawing on that skill of hearing an idea and then expressing that sound on the instrument. And that makes everything so much easier. And it's a hard skill to teach. And I'm in this situation now where, if I'm learning songs for a gig, I have to learn lots of songs and play a lot of songs. But in my mind, they're stored as these tiny little pieces of information because, well, when I play, I don't know, a Stevie Wonder tune, when I'm up there playing with my band, I'm not thinking chords per se. I can hear the song, and that the way the song is stored in my head is the sound of the song. And because I've spent so much time developing that connection between hearing things and then being able to play those things, it means that I've designated such a tiny part of my memory to the song. When it comes to playing a long unison line, like the unison line in Sir Duke or whatever it happens to be, it's not a stress for me to play that. It's not a stress for me to play that in any octave on the guitar, any part of the register, because I can hear the idea and therefore I can play it. It's a hard skill to develop, but not because it's a hard skill to develop, but because it's a painful skill to develop. It's, you really have to start basic and sing everything that you play. It just helps so significantly. And for those of you that watched me doing the live transcriptions before, I keep looking over here like the camera's there. It's not, it's there. For those of you that have watched these transcriptions before, you'll notice that I sing everything that I write out, because that, for me, is the ultimate ear training skill. If I can sing a phrase that somebody plays, then I can find the phrase on the instrument. So Bruce is saying preach. I think there's I don't want to say I think there's value in that. Like I say, that was something that hearing Bruce say that was just a really, it told me that I was on that right path, to have and as such a well-respected and established teacher openly say somebody came in and wanted to learn a Coltrane solo, and I said, well, first of all, can you sing it? It might have been a Miles Davis solo, actually. If you can't sing it, you can't play it, as Jeff has said. And as painful as it feels, if you try and sit and learn something that you're completely unfamiliar with, right? There's a couple of solos that I like to have students kind of work on as ear training exercises, and one of them is Grant Green's solo on the song WAP, which is on Jack McDuff's album, The Honey Dripper. I really love that record, and I love that solo in particular. And I love seeing what a struggle it is for the student to learn it. And the reason it's a struggle for them is because they're trying to memorize it as they're, transcribing it. And it just doesn't work like that. You have to memorize it as a sound. You have to hear it. You have to be able to sing it. So I could put that solo on from WAP and sing it. And that makes it so much easier to play. It makes it so much easier to memorize. It makes it so much easier to execute. And I'm storing less information in my brain because it's an internalized thing. I picked that as an example, but it could be anything. Like some of the early classic, so not necessarily early, some of the early learner solos in jazz might be something like So What. Miles Davis' solo on So What. If you can hear that first melody, ba ba da da, ba ba da ba ba da, ba da ba da ba 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 da ba da ba, that phrase, I can hear it. And then when it comes to me playing that thing, it becomes so much easier. The song that I referenced there was WAP, W-H-A-P. I'll write it out for you. And it's a Jack McDuff song. Brother Jack McDuff. Anyway, so and ever since then, I've spent loads of time listening to Bruce talk with Scott. And of course, it's a fun pair to listen to talk because a fascinating friendship, I think. I'm not a part of the friendship, but listening to the two of them talk it's always fun because they come across as having so much in common, but then also being so different in some areas. And I think that's what makes for good interesting conversations to listen to. So yeah, go back and listen to a bunch of the guitar wank stuff. Anyway, let's jump in and do some Bruce. So the first mistake that I made there, I'm not even sure what screen I have up. Oh, for some reason I did that with the screen. You didn't need to see that screen the whole time. Is where beat 1 is. So here, that's the and of 4. 1, 2, and so I would go 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba, 1, 2, 3. Ba 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 da ba da ba, and I'd sing it. Ba 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 da ba da ba. Ba 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 da ba da ba, and the pulse is really important because it's not like I'm going ba 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 da ba da ba. I've got a very deliberate place in my mind. 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 da ba da ba. And you know, with my own students, one of the things that I'm just relentlessly trying to, I was going to say drill into them, but let's go punch into them, right? I'm constantly trying to punch into them. Is rhythm, is the sense of pulse, is the sense of groove, where you know, the things that you play, they're played in relation to time, and it's great to be able to float over time, but you can't really float over time unless you can play in time as well. If you're just floating over time all the time, then there's no groove to what you're doing. You want to be able to float a little bit, and you want to be able to really lock in and create a sense of swing feel. And of course, solid swing feel like that comes from accenting weak beats, accenting the ands, and this is a great example of that. It's not 3, 4, ba 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 da ba da ba. That would be boring, right? Ba 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 da ba da ba. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, ba 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 da ba da ba. We're accenting those upbeats, so we're syncopating that melody. So let's take a look at what Bruce is actually playing. Shouldn't be too tricky. The best guitar solos are the ones that you can hum effortlessly. Apart from all those ones that are just blisteringly fast. I love those too. I can't sing a lot of Mike Stern's, fast solos, but I still love them. Anyway, so what's Bruce playing here? We can put not tempo markers in. We can do this. We know where it is anyway. I should point out when we're transcribing, we're not doing it from a visual perspective. I'm not looking at these notes and seeing where they fall in relation. Oh, my face is in the way. Let's move my stupid face down here. There we go. I'm not looking at these markers and going, oh, okay, this note is, halfway through. We're not hearing like that. We should be hearing in relation to the beat. So, what is Bruce playing here? And when we've got that in place, I should be able to go in and, not even putting pitch in, right? If I just go in and write the rhythm, we'd have... killing myself here by not putting the right in, but that's our rhythm, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, ba 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 da ba da ba. I want to be pedantic. I should probably put. Let's try that again. I want to be pedantic. I should probably put a swing marker on there. Now, if we put the notes in that Bruce is playing, we've got. Those are the notes. I'm going to double check the fingering because I don't think he played it like that, but that's what I heard. Ba 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 da ba da ba. So he actually plays that on the G string, which is not how I would instinctively do it. Ba da ba ba da, like this. Okay, same idea, right? This phrase. Ba da da. Ba da da. Ba da da. Just the first 2 beats of that. Ba ba da. I've got it. Ba da da. Oh, he actually plays that again. Interesting that he fingers that. That's not how I'd finger it, but. And I do like to use the visual cue because we want our transcriptions to be accurate. I could probably make my face bigger, couldn't I? We do want our transcriptions to be accurate, and video is just glorious for that. And I think the one thing to point out when I jump over to this, because I remember that you'll all know this feeling. Everyone will know this feeling. You never have this problem. I mentioned the Joe Pass chord solos book, right? When I go back to think about those books, working from notation, the notation, I don't want to say can never be wrong, but when you notate a note, you're often leaving it down to the reader to know where to play that thing, but tab tells you where to play a thing. And obviously it's I don't want to say a better tool, but it's an easier tool to help guitarists learn more quickly and effectively. A lot of those things back in the day, album transcription, they're just done by listening, and so often you might not have mistakes in the notes, though of course that would often happen as well, but sometimes the fingerings, the way things would be played, are just like wildly off. As I say, I didn't do the transcriptions for the solo jazz guitar etudes book. Again, I will post a link to it though, because I should really have it saved, shouldn't I? It was meant to be in the description, but Luke didn't send it to me until just before the stream started. Yeah, I didn't do the transcriptions for this, but my student Jeff did, and you know, working from video, so accuracy is something that fortunately, something that we can rely on. Let's go here. Right, back to it. Now I love this rhythm. And again, you have to have good timing to get stuff like this. So this is what I'd always refer to as an offset triplet. If we think of a swing feel as being da 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 da, well, it's essentially a triplet, right? Da ba da da ba da da. We're just playing the first and the third note of the triplet. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 3 1 3 1. Well, a way that we can twist that is we can not play the 1 and we can play the 2 3. So instead of 1 2 3 1 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3, and when you do that in one beat, 2 3, and then in that next beat you play just a swing eighth note, 2 3 1 3 2 3 1 3 ba da da da. That's what we've got going on here. Ba 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 da ba da. Or potentially you could write it as 16th notes. Probably, and now I'm leaning more towards 16th notes because it feels a little bit more rushed. But then we're straight back on that melody from before. And of course, if you look at Bruce's face while he's playing this, he doesn't need to look down to the fretboard to go back to that melody. It's a melody that you hear. You hear that phrase ba 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 da ba da ba, and you should just be able to jump in and play that thing, and that's exactly what he does. And of course, repetition legitimizes. Nothing makes a solo sound more like it's supposed to be than repeating a musical phrase. So that's what we're going to have again. Exactly the same phrase, and then I can use copy and paste for that, right? So Control C, Control V. Nice to see Tim Lurch in the comments. Another, outrageously world-class player. So Bruce has just thrown out a really interesting observation. Maybe it's because he's left-handed. I mean, the interesting thing there is that he's left-handed. I don't think it's that, Bruce. I don't think it's that. I think that I've started doing it a lot more myself, playing across strings. I think you tend to see playing like that a lot more in players who didn't learn using a modern system of playing, if that makes sense. I'm more comfortable sliding along a string playing a melody now, and I lean towards doing that because you get the consistency of tone. You just, like, if you play all the melody on the G string, or as much as possible, it sounds consistent, than to jump from the G string over to the B string for one note and then back. It's just. I think everyone watching this would agree that the guitar has areas where it sounds fantastic, and it has other areas where it sounds a little bit weak. Like, I never want to play the first fret on the B string. The guitar sounds too plinky down there, unless I'm playing the bluegrass thing, in which case, stick to those open positions. But yeah, I think for me, the guitar sounds best on the sort of D, G, and B strings between the 4th and 10th fret, and then on the high E string, maybe from the 6th fret up. I would say. So yeah, I actually appreciate your consistency in sound here, Bruce. Same melody, right? So exactly the same melody. I should also point out there is a third way of writing this rhythm. So the way I've written this here, people would ask for a clarification on how this has been written. Are we swinging this? You want to be really pedantic, you might actually write it like this. What I've got here is the same as we had before: 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. But each of our notes is actually two notes: dabba 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 da, and we are just hitting the last two of those. So da dabba da dabba da dabba da. So this rhythm, dabba da da dabba da da dabba da da dabba da da. Of course, this side of the transcription, this is the part that I would encourage you all to take very seriously, because this really comprehensive and academic approach to the understanding of rhythm helps with your practice of your time feel. Because there are some jazz guitar players that I transcribe, and I don't want to say I hate their playing, but I would cut my own hands off before playing like that, because I love groove, I love rhythm, I love like that really tight time feel. And when I watch guys, blasting through these licks where they're using all this economy pick, and I'm like, your timing suffers because of it. It's like your timing's an afterthought. Now this is a tricky one, because there's a push in the time feel here. I feel this chord stab should be on the and. So we 1 2 3 4 ba ba da ba, but really it's kind of played on the beat. Definitely not. So, and I actually hate transcribing jobs where there's not a consistent pulse. So I like people playing over a backing track, and that's because my job is to notate something in a way that looks really nice and neat on the page. But when something, even with good time feel like this, when a musician is playing solo and they can push and pull the tempo a little bit, you have that balance of going for the traditional, this is what it would traditionally be, what it would look like on the page, versus this is how it would sound if you played it, put a metronome out, and this is what it would look like on the page if you did. I don't want to do that. I want to go for the rhythms that make sense to me. And of course this is swing, so having that push, depending on my transcription, sometimes I'll deal with enharmonics, and other times if I'm publishing just tab, I don't worry about that. Made a mistake there. Again, this melody, ba da ba da 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 da. I heard it just once, right? And I can immediately sing it back. That's the skill you need to develop, guys. Ba da 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 da. Oh, okay. Now we're getting into tricky territory. I hate the way comments display on YouTube, because I can't actually see what Bruce has said there. Yeah, hearing it on the end of 4. It totally makes sense to hear it on the end of 4. I'll show you why I say that, guys. Let's do this. So if I drag this comment over so you can see, YouTube's really good. You see this little heart logo? I can press this and put reactions, but it covers up comments. So, whose idea was that? Not that we can look to YouTube for being the fountain of wisdom. Anyway, so now we're a little looser in time. Ba da da ba ba. I'm just not hearing the right pitches there. Ba da da ba ba. Ba ba. Ba da ba da da. again, I kind of want to put that on the and of 4. Yeah, definitely on the and of 4. We'll deal with the enharmonics there in a second when we get a wider sense of context. We'll talk about harmony. I sing the melody, right? Same melody as before, right? Ba da da. No, not the same. Ba 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 da ba da ba da da. That's 7 flat 9. Ba ba da ba. Yeah, we're in C. There's like, it's just the note G sharp in Guitar Pro 8 where the hotkey for enharmonics doesn't work. That you hear on the beat. All right, we'll go back and we'll listen to that, Bruce. Again, both totally valid. You would hear the difference between, and this isn't, I'm not saying this of Bruce. Bruce knows this stuff, but for you guys out there that are like more students of playing, students of rhythm, students of transcription, and the like, I'm just trying to look at my YouTube stats. Yeah, cool. For students of transcription, the way I've written it versus the way Bruce says he's hearing it, which is this. Oh, no. What happened there? I didn't take that off yet. Oh, I've got the wrong key pressed. There you go. So Bruce is hearing this. Ba 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 da ba da ba da ba. 3, 4. Ba ba da ba da ba da ba. Ba ba da ba da ba da da. Nothing wrong with that. I just hearing as the and here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba ba da ba da ba da ba. Ba ba da ba da ba da da. It looked and felt more like Bruce was playing on the 1, but yeah, I expect the syncopation. So yeah, totally on the beat. That works. That works totally fine. Ba-da, nice. And we're going to have like full-on syncopation. Why would you do that, Guitar Pro? I play this phrase all the time. Whoops. Go in there and sort these enharmonics out. Yep, see? G sharp won't let me correct that one. Have to do that by pressing a button. Terrible. Back down. Ba, 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 ba. Da, 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 ba, ba, da, ba, da. Go and put a staccato dot on that. Change the enharmonics here. Interesting. I'm just trying to look at this and see. Oh yeah, okay, B flat. Yeah, that's just my bad. I see this phrase and I see and hear G7. Because that's something I would play over a G7. But I just looked at that and then don't consider beyond that, because after this B flat, I'm going to want to jump up and play a B. Oh. I'm going to play. Isn't the guitar a fun and exciting instrument? I know exactly what you feel there, Bruce. It's become. I would actually go so far as saying that my inherent need to swing everything has. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's nothing. My inherent need to swing everything has actually ruined my ability to play rock music. Because I can't play straight rhythms anymore. And I'm just gonna go on a little tangent here, a playing tangent for people, right? Let's get in shot for this. This is the one area where I'm not all that prepared for playing, right? For YouTube, for streaming. So outside of just playing straight rhythm, I hate that. It's gone. I have I've tried to, you guys who've watched my videos for a long time, I've talked about this swing picking concept, this idea of accenting upstrokes. So I would never play. See, I struggle to do it. I would never go. It's always. I'm accenting upstrokes there, right? And that helps with. And it's something that I want, trying to encourage you guys to practice all the time. These phrases that Bruce is playing here, where he goes, let's play this phrase where he goes. If I just play the first part of that, like to me that's like a D-7 to a G7. If we work on that and play that straight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It's fine. If I swing it, what we really want is to be putting those little accents on those upstrokes. So we go. I'm even going to put pull-offs in to make my down beats weaker. that's swing phrasing. And I think for you guys out there that are wanting to improve your sense of swing phrasing, inherently, when you play solo like this, you're going to push and pull with that beat and just have a lot of fun with it. But the thing that locks the listener into your swing feel is that sense of short, long, and making sure that there's that constant sense of forward motion. Swing is about creating a sense of forward motion. This stays static. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. But when I go, it gives me that sense of long note is rest, short note is tension that wants to be resolved. I can't go, it feels wrong. I want to go and end on that one. So when I play lots of there's this, I'm hitting so many of those upstrokes, and I'm not playing them upstrokes, I should say upbeats. It just helps with that forward motion. It makes everything bounce forward. So all of these phrases, when you're transcribing something like this, or if you sit down with solo jazz guitar etudes, and I could go to any page in this book. I will, let's do it. Let's just put it up on screen one more time. Solo jazz guitar etudes. If I go to any page on this, with some single note phrasing, there's a lot of single notes phrases. I'm trying to find things that look like natural in terms of the way I finger things. Okay, here's some like more boppy phrasing. From the tune "I Hear a Rap CD." See what you did there. Yeah, so we've got like an E flat major 7 idea, and Bruce is going to go. And I'm swinging that, right? And I'm not going. It's really hard for me to play straight with no dynamics and then play swing with no dynamics, but we'll try. If I go. Sorry. I'm starting to swing, right? If I try and swing that without dynamics. I find that really difficult to do. What I inherently want to do is go. I'm going to accent this E flat, and I'm going to accent this B flat because it feels right to. And as we continue the line on, what have we got here? I'm going to put all those accents on those upstrokes because it feels right to. That's a weird phrase. On my, yeah, you. I think of that as being like a Schofield thing. You hear those. Yeah, they're all on upstrokes. So on a phrase. What we got in there? Yeah, so it's all about those upstrokes for me to get that sound, to get that feel. So when you're working on your transcriptions, I'll drag myself back to my seat. Maybe need a better system for live streaming. It's that knowledge that when we're doing these transcriptions, that it's not just a melody that we're let's go with stealing. It's not just melody that we're aiming to steal here, and it's not just rhythm. It's dynamic. We're trying to steal dynamic. We're trying to steal we're trying to steal the sense of bubbliness. And for me, when you listen to bebop, and of course we're talking about Bruce and being Cowboy Bebop, the exciting thing for me when I listen to bebop is the dynamics of the playing. The lines are fascinating, interesting, and they keep me excited. But the dynamics, and I don't just mean, oh, he's playing loudly there, oh, he's playing softly there. I mean the dynamics mid-line. It's like you can play a really interesting solo on just the snare drum if you play with dynamics. And I don't mean play long sections where you play really quiet and then long sections where you play really loud. When you listen to like a Parker line where he's playing these double time things, it's not all just consistent dynamically. It's very bubbly dynamically. You have notes that are really loud, and you have lots of notes in there that are quiet, and the loud notes jump out and punch you. And if you were to, yeah, I guess you could do this. If you ran like a really heavy noise gate on lines like that, where you only heard the loud notes, you would have a line that was rhythmically exciting because it's even though it's straight 16th notes, it's creating rhythmic excitement because you have all these wonderfully syncopated accents, and they're syncopated in that they're on weak beats, and strong beats are softer dynamically, which inherently creates that swing feel, wants to pull everything forward. So yeah, that bubbliness. All these accents that you throw on upbeats, super exciting. So bubbly, yeah, bubbly. Bruce has got a bolt, but thank you so much for tuning in, Bruce. Thanks for giving some feedback on the shit that I'm doing. And yeah, please do, everybody, go and check out Bruce's book. Go and subscribe to Bruce's channel. Check him out on Instagram. He's uploading regularly on Instagram. He's just a wonderful, wonderful player. So, missing a lot of comments here. Small pick, Mr. Broom, right? Mr. Forman, clarify one thing. Read somewhere Joe Pass used to cut his guitar pick in half. Yeah, he did. I can tell you that. The internal dynamic of the 8th note line, or as teachers who are trying to instill this in their students, the infernal dynamic of the 8th note line, because it takes a long time for students to get it, to hear it. And yeah, it's just one of those wonderful details in that music, rhythmically dynamic music, where the more you listen to it, the more you just pick it up and you play it. So let's keep going. Ba 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 da ba da ba da da. Just repeats the idea. Okay, now we're getting lazy in the phrase. This is that offbeat triplet. So bum bum ba ba octave, and then this rhythm. These are some of my favourite rhythms to hear, to practice. I'll grab the guitar and do them as well. Again, that triplet. Instead of going 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, if we go 2 2 2 2, and then if we go 2 1 3 2 1 3, bo ba 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 ba, or we could go ba da ba da, which is the rhythm we were singing earlier. But yeah, that's what Bruce has got going on here. Ba da 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 da, which again is like a syncopation, right? You rather than hearing ba ba da ba ba da ba ba da, we go ba 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 ba. It ends up being an offset triplet quarter note. So we write that as ba ba and harmonics. have this interpretation of where beat 1 is, because if beat 1 is here, well, that's very definitely beat 1, right? Then we have to go back and question if we felt the previous bar incorrectly. So let's write this bar as it's very clearly rhythmically played. So we'll ignore this bar. Ba, 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 ba. Sorry, I don't know why I put that rest in there. Ba, ba, da, ba, da. Ba. Like this. Ba. Where does he play the B flat? Yeah, down there. Okay, so this bar very definitely on the beat. Ba, ba, da, ba, da, ba, da, ba. So then we have to hear this previous bar with that in mind. Yeah, this is... Yeah, this is one of those where both are correct. Both bars are absolutely correct. This bar is definitely... And now I'm gonna present you with what you could consider the transcriber's paradox. This bar is correct, but oh, sorry. Let's finish it. This would be the bar. That's 100% correct, and is a repeatable, strong rhythm. But so is this. So then you end up with this thing where you go, well, this is correct, and this is correct. So technically, the accurate thing to do here, and I hate it, I would sooner die than actually write this in a book. But technically, the right thing to do here, sorry, would be to write this as a bar 7. Technically, that will play with Bruce. Bum bum ba 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 ba. It's hard to even vocalize. Bum ba 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 bum ba da ba da da dum. It's very awkward, very weird. I hate it. I hate it. Hate it. Hate it. So I'm gonna level with you guys, right? As a transcriber, I have a choice. I have a choice at this point. I can either submit this to a publisher and say this is what he played, this is what we should print. But the problem with that is, although that is 100% accurate, or at least I'd argue it's 100% accurate, while it's 100% accurate, it misses the intention, I feel. And annoyingly, Bruce isn't here, so he can't talk to this point now. He left at the exact the worst humanly possible time for him to leave. So what I would do here is I would lie. I would keep it as it was. Okay, I would keep it as this, and I would lie and put a rest in there, because this, from a study perspective, is a better way for us to think about what's going on here. Bum ba 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 da ba da ba da ba dum. Bum 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 bum. I can't sing. Yeah, I guess I can do that. Ba 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 da ba ba da ba da ba da ba da ba 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 da ba da ba da ba da. That's a phrase. That's rhythmically like very consistent. But if I actually try and do that along with Bruce, there's a rush here. Alright, it's not as big a rush as I initially thought it was, but yeah, so this is accurate. So that skill, this you could deem this to be like a tricky rhythm, but it's just not. And the sheer amount of guys that I know that want to go in the transcribe that want to go down the transcribing route, right? And they try and get jobs where they transcribe for people, and they don't have fundamental rhythmic understanding like this, where you could put this rhythm in front of them and say, I want you to read that for me. I want you to clap it out. If you can't clap that rhythm out, you have no business writing that rhythm down. If you don't understand that rhythm from a fundamental standpoint, you've got no business writing it down. It's just no good for you. So yeah, get it done. Now we get the meaty chords, and I'll give you some chord pointers. So we're here, 1, 2, 3, ba, on the and of 3. Now visuals help here, but if I let you listen to this, I can't, and I'm going to tell you a story. When I play this, no, let's do the story first. When I first met Mike Stern for the first time, I was interviewing Mike Stern, and of course I wanted to work in as many questions as I could about transcription, because I knew Mike transcribed. I knew he was like very into transcribing, and I was budding. I was going to say semi-professional, but I was working professionally as a transcriber. Point is, I was trying to instill it in my students. I wanted them to see Mike Stern, making a song and dance about transcription. And one of the questions I always get from you guys, for people online, is how do you transcribe chords? How do you transcribe chords? And I remember asking Mike that same question, and he told me that his first transcriptions were Joe Pass songs. He was working on Joe Pass type things, and he would do these Joe Pass transcriptions. And I'm like, but weren't the chords hard? And he was like, yeah, but I wouldn't let them bog me down. If I had to, I'd just write the highest note in the chord, and that would be enough. Now, as silly as that seems, that's totally, totally valid, because when I listen to this chord, we need to be able to hear that top note. I can't sing up there. I need water. I'll use the piano, right? Top note of that chord. Now, if you just put that in, if I go in the transcription and go and put that in, that's a step in the right direction. That really is a step in the right direction. If you can't do that, then you're not going to be able to transcribe the whole chord, right? So that's the first thing to consider. You have to be able to hear the top note in a chord. But then, can I hear the bottom note in the chord? Right. So if I listen closely to the hiss. Now, I know there's no good way for me to tell you how to do that other than practice, right? So I have to slow this right down as slow as I possibly can, which is only 20% in Guitar Pro, apparently. I'm really listening for that note. It's there. Now, with that, I could just put that in my transcription. I could do this, right? But then the more time you spend working on this skill, the more you start listening to that and you go, back to the chord. And I start going, ba. That note's in there. And I can also hear. There's my chord. because I've started with the top note, and then I've listened and tried to hear the bass note, and then I sing the chord in between. Ba, 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 ba. There we go, can't sing it. Okay, so there's my chord. Now, we do have the visual cue to help us with this, but you don't always have that, and that's, you know, it's really important that we can... I just did a Joe Pass chord solo, chord melody type thing, and he plays a lot of the same ideas, like when you know them sort of thing, but still, you need to... when the camera's not pointing at the guitar, and it happens a lot, you need to be able to hear the chord. And when Joe plays, like, he'll play this voicing. You just need to hear that and be able to hear the top note. Actually, if I move this down, you know, functionally, it's almost the same. And when I listen to this chord, and this, the difference between them is ba, ba. One is, and one is. The more time you put into that, the better you get at picking these things out. The other thing to consider is knowledge of chord voicings. So this chord voicing that Bruce is playing here, I've played this chord voicing a million times, therefore it's easy for me to do. And I'm going to go with the same tired example that I've given you guys many times over the years, but I'm going to play a chord on my guitar, right? You should know what this is. You should know that when you hear that. You should go, oh, that's the Hendrix chord. And with time, you go, oh, that's a 7♯9 chord, because you just learned a more kind of musically descriptive name for the chord. But the point is, you hear it, you know what it is, and you just immediately play it. I have that, but with lots of chord voicings now. So he plays that chord. Did he then play the Joe Pass? Oh, no. Ba, ba. Note stays on top, right? Ba, ba, ba. Da. And harmonics are all over the place. I mean, I can make this a lot easier on myself by going up here and putting a key signature in. Then it won't default to sharps. So we're in B flat. Nope, B flat. There we go. So chords. Ooh, okay. See you looking down at your fretboard there, Bruce, and then looking up and smiling at me going, good luck, motherfucker. So let's go back and put this in there. So here's our chord, right? Top note. Ba, ba, ba. So listen for the rest of the chord. Bottom note. Ba, da, da. Made a mistake but corrected it. Ba. Are we hearing the F in there? This is one where there's no good way to write this out. So he's going up to let's focus on this chord where he's going to. When I hear this, top note. Ba, ba, like this, right? It's like a C minor 9. When we've got that, I don't want to have to write this out. And it's one of those where like the chords don't scare me. It's just getting it on the page in a way that looks really nice, and that really is your job as a transcriber, right? Getting things to look nice on the fucking page. I think my problem here is I've lost one. So we go 1 and 2 and 3. We could see this as being on 3. Yeah, because I could go for that. But you know, he plays it with an upstroke, which again just like it's like an off throwing of the time feel. This is why I actually try to be as consistent with my picking as possible. What I would do here is I think I would lie again. I tell the listener a beautiful lie. I would write this. We'll come back to that. Again, interesting chord here, right? We have to hear this. What's our top note? That's our top note, right? From here, bottom note. Ba, which is here. Ba, is that even in the chord? Or am I hearing it here? Ba, ba. I'm hearing a flat 7, not the root. I'm hearing that's the note I'm hearing. Ba. And then yeah, fill it in like that, right? Not using my eyes, using my ears. Now use my eyes. Doesn't sound like the... Oh yeah. Sounds more like a B flat on the bottom, but... Yeah, and the beautiful lie I would tell would be something like that. And then I hear this chord. And listening for the bottom note, right? Listen to the bottom note. We go. This top note drops down. And the more you more you play, the more you hear this in context. So I hear... I don't hear as being B7 or B13 to a B13 to a B7. I'm hearing this is F7 sharp 9 to F7 flat 9. And we would expect that to result in a B flat major 7. Whereas he's a semitone below and it's nasty. I like it. You can totally. That's really like badass to go. So what can I take from it? Very little. Actually, that's kind of slick. If I break down how I'm processing that, I think, because I like to learn things and then be able to use them in my playing after I've transcribed them. So we're in B flat. 251 in B flat is C minor 7. Going to F7. Resolve in B flat major 7. And Bruce obviously starts with my C minor 7 down here. He goes from C minor 7 to the C minor 9 up here. And of course, because I've been playing so much neo soul, let me tune my guitar. Tuning helps. I'm so used to this movement. So, but Bruce is going literally just from, which is valid. And then he needs to go from C minor 7 to F. And he does this really cool. This doesn't have anything to realistically have anything to do with an F, other than the fact like this would be an F7. So it's kind of like it's really out. Like you could see it's like a D7 sharp 9 sharp 5. But just treating this melody as being root of F, flat 7 of F, and then he brings it down. This is an F13 to an F9, but then to really finish it, we have this melody, which is then going to take us back to our B flat. But as I say, he resolves semitone below, and he doesn't actually bring it back in the chord. But yeah, that's not. That's really cool. If I try and put that in something, if I'm playing like blues, if I go. nice. I like that. And my job as a guitar player is I play in a band without a keyboard player most of the time. So having rich chord voicings like this, not rich, but you know, being able to play a little bit more harmony. It's like we're gonna add Stevie's "Living for the City" to the band setting, which is like this. It's not actually in E; it's in F sharp. Sorry. I can't play the F sharp. My bass player has to play that. Then you have that melody there. That's the melody that comes after that. But we need to be able to add more. So I'm going to go. Playing some harmony around it and moves like that. Thank you for that, Bruce. Stolen. Right, how are we doing for time? Oh, I'm running out of time. I'm vastly running out of time. Looks like I'm going to have to transcribe this whole second one in my own time, which is a bad organisation on my part. Never bring myself up. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying this though, and you're kind of getting into my mindset, and you had a feeling for what this Cowboy Bebop thing is about. The other thing I guess I didn't really mention when it comes to doing things like this is a 1.5-minute video to transcribe, which is a lot of work, right? But if I bring this up like this, if I just press play, what I'm listening for is things that I like. Because sitting down and transcribing 1.5 minutes of guitar playing, it's a lot of work. It's like a huge amount of work for people to undertake. But if I just press play and I listen to this, and I just pick out things I like and then go, oh, I like that. Let's stop and do that bit. You find that, sure, you're not getting quite as much done, but you're getting the meat and potatoes done. You're getting the parts that excite you done. And for me, those are the parts that you hear. You hear melodies that you are likely to remember and bring into your own phrasing. Expanding upon that, rather than there's stuff in here like this phrase here. I'm not going to play a phrase like that. It doesn't grab me. It's not boppy enough. But when I listen and go, just that actually. Da da ba da 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 ba da da ba da 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 da. I can hear the tension. We're on that. Which helps to, again, if I go. Is a way to take me from my tension back to my one. It's something that I like. There's a classic bop line, right? Really like this. Ba da 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 da. Yeah, that's that. He plays that. That's a nice phrase. That's a nice phrase. I like that. Blues. So, too many slick chords there, but the end. That is a really slick 2/5. There's a really nice phrase. And they're nicer still when you hear the chord first. Let's go a little bit before that. So with this G minor 7. Then you so we get the G minor 7 and then immediately picking it up, yeah? He played that earlier. That was a line that actually I've already taken from Bruce. It's nice. Same phrase. That's him. So I'm just going to do the same on Bruce 2. I'm going to listen through it, and anything that jumps out to me is being like, oh, that's really cool. I'll just immediately work it out and steal it. Spicy chord. Yeah, is that? Oh, I'm at the end of the transcription. There's a phrase, a classic. It's the 7 flat 9 sound. As nice as Bruce is playing is, I think he should be more concerned about the fact that his house is clearly haunted, because if you listen very carefully, you can hear a ghost in the background going... Let's get that chord. That's a nice chord. Can we get the top note? Bottom note. So just doing that helps me get the chords. Oh. Ah, now we're talking. He doesn't finger it like that, he plays it. There's the phrase. It's a really nice phrase. Let's go before. Yeah, that's that phrase. We can work these out. These are all workoutable. Workoutable, is that a term? Very nice, Bruce. Very good, sir. You make me very happy. Right, let me bring it up. I'm going to read some comments, read the last of the comments, and then I'll get out of your hair. Just tuning in. Late to the party, as per usual. Yeah, you are. He's not a cowboy. He is a Jew in costume. Okay, I mean, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to make of that. Mike? Good stuff, I guess. Right, I'll put the book over here. So, if you want to learn more about Bruce's playing, and you want to learn more jazz licks without me having to slowly break them down, go and grab yourself a copy of... I'm just getting a page count for you. Yeah. Go and grab yourself a copy of Solo Jazz Guitar Etudes. It's 107 pages in here. It's one of those things, isn't it, where I hate the fact that great resources like this exist, because I have to look at it and I'm like, what excuse do I possibly have to not be able to play all of these? All the work's been done for me. I should be able to play all of these. And when I look at a tune like All the Strings You Are, once again, I see what you did there, Bruce. I love playing All the Things You Are, and looking at something like this, like there's going to be little bits of vocabulary that I can take from them. I see what he plays on D minor 7, G minor 7, C7, F major 7, and I'm like, oh, I can steal these. In fact, hello. Is that a spicy major 7 sharp 5? I think that is. Let's have a look. So we got... And then for C7 he plays this. Oh, that's actually really cool. So it's like C7 flat 9. And then for his F major 7 he goes to... That was beautiful. this actually comes back to something that I've been talking to a client about just recently, where when it comes to putting chord symbols over a transcription, D minor 7, G minor 7, C7, F major 7 is very much the way we would think about all the things you are. But do we want to put those chords? Because that's what he plays. He plays a D minor 7, G minor 7. But then this C7 is really a C7 flat 9 chord, right? And then F major 7, well, he doesn't play F major 7 cool. He plays an F major 7 sharp 5, which is just really nice. B flat major 7, but he plays, this is really like a B flat add 9 chord. Me sound like a sophisticated guitar player, Bruce, and I'm just having a wee look for it. Anyway, yeah, so solo jazz guitar etudes. What's he put there? No such thing as major 7 sharp 5, only minor 7 sharp 5. Luke, I will drive all the way to your house to punch you in the nose. Yeah, solo jazz guitar. Nope, solo jazz guitar is solo jazz guitar. Solo jazz guitar etudes. Please do go and pick up a copy from Guitar Vivo or Amazon, and support a hardworking musician. Bruce is fantastic, and he deserves far more notoriety than he has. So much love. Thank you very much, guys. I'm going to go and get some dinner because it's late and I'm exhausted. Goodbye.